This concluded about 3 months ago. First off, let me say I have post-traumatic stress disorder from 2 tours. This isn't a brag or flex, but any vet with post-traumatic stress disorder will vouch that it is very hard to let assholes walk away. Because of this stupid shit, I can only really work jobs alone now. I've been working a while at cleaning stores after hours. Not surface cleaning, but checking areas that mice have been, etc. Dirty job, but the pay more than makes up for it. One day, I'm having some considerable back pain, so my wife, mother-in-law, and sister-in-law cover for me. I get a call a couple hours later from my wife complaining about the manager. Now, I've worked retail before and I know it sucks, so I tend to give some leeway when non-retail folks say someone's being mean versus not in the mood for BS. I hear he yelled at them when they walked in that the store was closed. Okay, buddy. They used a key. Chill. Then he got upset that he didn't know there was a cleaning that day. BS? I wrote and distributed the schedule 3 weeks prior. Then tried to tell them where to clean. I have a contract, and your employees' duties aren't included in it. I rolled my eyes at the complaint. I admit it. Managers suck. And I didn't think this was a big deal, just some incompetent general manager. Then I get a call a half hour later. General manager was making some gender-based jokes to his all-male staff. Hey, you putting on your makeup, you need a tampon, etc. While they were shutting down. Okay, that's pretty tasteless, but for me it's hearsay. Then I'm told that on his way out of the parking lot, they saw the general manager try to open my car's door. Insert post-traumatic stress disorder here. I call the store the next day, ask to talk to the manager on duty. I have a pretty civil convo, highlighting my concerns about the manager paying attention to his schedule and contracts. I mentioned there was some witnessed unprofessionalism, but that's not for me to correct. Mind you, the convo is going very professionally up to this point. When I mention the car, guy's whole attitude changes. He gets very vocal and very defensive, cutting me off and raising his voice. Before I realize, we are yelling at each other. I hang up and talk to my wife. I describe the guy based off of his voice and accent, and my wife is certain that I'm speaking to the general manager. I'll call him E. I call back and simply say, I want to know what authority you had to try to get in my car. E starts to play dumb until I name the security company that patrols and monitors his lot, shared lot with other businesses, and I can request footage through the police. He says he doesn't have to explain himself to me, and he hangs up. Oh fuck no. I call back a final time. I say, if we can't work this out, I have to get your boss involved. Fine. Go ahead and call me when you do. He hangs up. Insert revenge. I won't go into how, but I will explain what happened over the next few weeks. Remember, I have a key to the store and am still able to show up on contracted days. E's handwritten statement about the argument goes missing. Not a huge loss, the thing was 90% lies to get ahead of what he did. Find multiple disciplinary notes that all show that Mr., as all of his employees seem to call him, loved to write up all his employees for frivolous shit. This is a common tactic by weak managers as insurance for when employees complain about them. These also go missing. A file is found with many complaints about the store and interactions between E and customers. Copies are made. E's business starts to get multiple one-star Google reviews from various accounts. Some of the reviewers post pictures of his store's mouse infestation and product damaged by little teeth that he leaves on the shelf. Let me tell you, seeing mouse shit next to food does wonders for your Google page. 2 anonymous complaints to the city about the mouse infestation within the store with pictures, none of which match the ones I send to my bosses. 1 complaint to the city from an employee that cites a ton of safety violations within the store, then mentions how bad the mouse infestation has gotten and that the city should inspect and make sure they ask for proof of an exterminator. There is none. Poor gal was begging. Her name even matched an employee's name. Fancy that. Random occult symbols begin to appear in E's work journal, hidden among things he has already written. To clarify, this is because I could recall the symbols. The point wasn't for the occult, it was so things would show up in his personal journal that he didn't write. His boss's boss, contact info hanging in office, received an email detailing his unprofessionalism, gender-based harassment, an attempt to get into a vehicle that wasn't his. I also mentioned how many violations I saw as I was cleaning, broken equipment, safety hazards, lack of proper cleaning supplies, chemicals over pet food, etc. I even tried to compromise and said if they can provide a policy that says he could check my vehicle without security or law enforcement, then I'd retract my complaint. Otherwise, every scheduled cleaning that he is still there for, I'd cancel and send them a fee. Suddenly, there is a shift in the store. I still go much later to avoid people, but it is much cleaner. There are even enough cleaning supplies for the store to function. There are less passive-aggressive notes everywhere. Curious about it, I go in the office and see there is definitely a change. The complaint file is shrunk down and the office is cleaner. Whoever is boss now sure seems like a nice lady. He receives a text from a number he won't be able to call back. Have you learned your lesson yet? His full name? Or do I need to take your next job from you too? The end. Edit. This wasn't just some random guy that happened to piss me off. I read the other Google reviews and the office complaints. He was by far the biggest ass I've ever seen in management, and further digging made it clear that he, a second manager, also responsible for a filthy store I clean, and their direct manager were buddies. Simply complaining would have resulted in nothing, clearly. Hence me going even higher. The other stores I clean, about a dozen other locations, are nowhere nearly as bad. Every shred of evidence uncovered showed that this dude just loved to abuse the shit out of his position. I have no regrets, know 'm saying? Edit 2. Since some people have VD low reading comprehension, let me spell this out. You cannot act on words, watch any body cam video. The cop explains to whoever assaults that words may hurt, but you can't act on them. Once I had something concrete, footage of vehicle access. I had my golden ticket. Any of you mad I didn't jump to my wife's defense over words are just as juvenile as the manager. And when my wife told me, she wasn't crying or scared or anything. She was pissed and annoyed too. She knew I couldn't do anything about the comments, why can't some of you? Edit 3. Having a post-traumatic stress disorder episode does not mean I am suddenly back in the shit. This is a common misconception. Not all post-traumatic stress disorder manifests the same. What it means for me is I enter a mindset where the opponent is an enemy, not a general manager or shitty driver or rude passerby, and I have to efficiently and effectively destroy them in a way that keeps my hands clean. Final fucking edit. This wasn't about the car. This was about what one man was comfortable doing to a stranger because he thought he could get away with it. The car was just evidence I could actually work with. For those pissed I didn't white knight my wife, she cared less about the words than some of you all did because she isn't a fucking child. /appropriate_menu 64.99.